Today, on Be Something Wonderful, how doing nothing gives you everything. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I heard from one of you that said, Tom, I've been trying to improve my life and manifest a new reality for several months now. And it's really difficult for me to even occupy a state of wish fulfilled, a state of that my desires are done, when I look around and I see that my life hasn't changed, that I haven't improved. And I was wondering if you could talk about that. Well, guys, today we're going to talk about that and more. Here's what I want to say, and I've said this before, but I really want to hit it like we've never hit it before, is that in this present moment, in this current reality that you're occupying, right, that's your entire life experience. Everything that you're thinking, feeling, assuming, and being is being created in that moment. So when you say that you want to improve your life, that you want to manifest a new reality, you're creating a reality of wanting to manifest a new life, wanting to create a new reality, but never getting there, never reaching it. You're always going to be in a state of what you judge as an unwanted reality. So how do you get there? This is what you've asked me. It's about accepting, fully embracing your current reality. It doesn't mean that you agree with it. I've talked about this before. It means you accept it as one quantum possibility out of an infinite number of quantum possibilities or quantum realities. And then you set the intention and choose, and then let it go and let God. Right? That is the process. Let's talk about this a little bit more. Give up the battle of trying to improve yourself in your current reality and move to the improvement. Move to the end. Move to your desired reality. Because you're creating it. The story you're telling yourself in this moment is your entire life experience, is your reality. You're creating it, so why not move to it? Instead of trying to improve yourself, be the improvement. Right? No, instead of struggling, embrace the imperfection, right? Because remember, you're only ever looking at or creating 0.00001% of total reality, total ultimate reality. So we're always living within the imperfection of all that is, which is total perfection. So really, right? Remember, all that is all that is. So it's not even imperfection, it's just a perception issue. You're only seeing that 0.0001% of all that is. So you're always going to feel somewhat incomplete, somewhat imperfect. But when I'm saying that imperfection, that incompleteness is perfection. It's a beautiful thing. And you can change it and call forth other aspects of all that is in any moment. That's the whole enjoyment of 3D reality, reveling in the imperfection of all that is, right? Because all that is perfect. But what I meant is what is for you. All that is for you is what is, right? So revel in that, enjoy that, because by your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, you can shift what portion of all that is that you can see in every moment. And that 0.0001% is perfect. Perfect in its imperfection. Because it's part of the greater whole. It's part of infinity. It's part of God, which is absolute perfection. You're just not seeing the whole picture. But you can feel it and know it. Remember, your heart feels and knows. So as long as you're feeling and knowing that this reality that you're in is part of the greater perfection of all that is, then you can accept it, embrace it, and call forth your desired reality. So let's hit this. Accepting your current reality doesn't mean you agree with it or choose it, right? Agree with or choose it. Right? It doesn't mean you choose it now. You can choose a new reality. It means that you accept it as one quantum possibility. You accept what is, right? Rather, it means you acknowledge it as a quantum possibility, one quantum possibility out of an infinite number of possibilities, while calling forth or choosing a new desired reality. When you resist or object to what is the present moment, you're resisting the present moment, or you're rejecting God. Hear this: God can only be found, infinity, all that is, that eternity of which you are, that one energy can only be found in the present moment. It can't be found in the past. It can't be found in the future. So when you're rejecting what is, your current reality, you're rejecting a part of who you are. You're rejecting that God, in other words. That's why you can't see it and you can't perceive it, because you don't want it. You're pushing it off. You're rejecting it, right? Instead, accept it as one possibility and then call forth and move to your new desired reality, what you want now, what you want to experience next, right? That's big. So experiencing an unwanted reality gives you the opportunity to find what you do want. That's the whole nature of duality, to experience something and then call forth what you want, right? Abraham Hicks, all the spiritual greats talk about that, right? But you don't want to stay there in the unwanted. Move to the improvement. Move to your desired reality, right? But resisting it, pushing against it, right? Pushing against this unwanted, complaining about it, and continually being dissatisfied with your current reality implies that you believe in it. It implies that you agree with it. And this perpetual dissatisfaction moves you to even more unfavorable lifelines where you are dissatisfied. That's why, like the song, like the Rolling Stones song, I can't get no satisfaction, that's why, right? It becomes a song and a mantra of your life, right? Because you're always in a moment dissatisfied, right? If you're pushing against the current reality, right? So let's hit this a little bit more. It's never about, and hear this because I've heard this several times now, it's never about giving up the intention and desire to be more or to even have more, right? All of that is your divine right, as an aspect, as an individualized aspect of God. You can be, do, or have whatever your heart desires. It's not about giving that up. Rather, it's about giving up the dissatisfaction with yourself and the world around you, and simply choose who you want to be in the reality that you want to experience next. Right? You can choose to be satisfied. You can choose to accept that current reality. Doesn't mean you agree with it and that you choose it now, but you can choose to be satisfied with it and then choose again. Choose to put your focus and your attention on your desired reality, right? Remember, struggling and suffering is not good for you. We talked about this in our previous video, unless it teaches you how to stop struggling and suffering. None of that's good, right? It's only good if it points you to satisfaction, just like dissatisfaction. It's only good if it defines what you do want and you move to it. Otherwise, hanging out in the unwanted does not serve you. It only serves to define what you do want, then move to the improvement. Dissatisfaction only serves you to find that what you do choose, what you want to choose next, right? So all the perceived shortcomings that you say, some of you have written me about this, right? Or you feel that you have some weaknesses that you want to overcome, or imperfections, or dissatisfaction with yourself and the world, is not reality, but rather only your thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs about reality. Do you hear this? All these things that you think are wrong with your life, think are wrong with yourself, that you want to improve, right? That you think that you're dissatisfied about, are all just thoughts about reality. They're not reality. Whew, this is big, right? Your soul, your inner being, your higher self will have none of it. It only sees you as perfect, whole, and happy, the perfectly divine you. So you cause a division between your heart and mind, right? They're not lined up. That's why the new reality can't come in. That's why your new life can't come in. Because you cause this division, because your soul doesn't feel like that about you, but yet you're planting those seeds through those thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions, right? This is big. When you accept yourself in the world as you are, and it is, right, as one quantum possibility with its right to be, right? That reality has a right to exist, right? While setting the higher intention of what you now want to experience, you align your heart and mind and are carried by that higher power within to all you desire. Do you hear this? That's the paradox. By embracing what is, by embracing your current reality, by not minding it, by knowing it's just something you created and you can call forth a new reality, gets you there, right? That's what we're talking about. It's not about not wanting to improve yourself or set goals. That's not the message at all. It's about being perfectly happy and accepting where you are now, and then being eager and excited of creating the next version of you or occupying that next reality. That's what we're talking about, right? So this is really the backwards law that I want to talk about today. And I've talked about this in previous videos, and I left 2 links below so you can watch those videos. Or the law of reversed effort, they call it, right? Alan Watts really talked about this quite a bit. And this is the paradox, really, of willpower, right? And the more you try to be satisfied, the more dissatisfied you feel. The harder you try, the less success you have, right? This is the paradox. He said that when you try to float, you sink if you're on top of water, but if you try to sink, you float. That's the paradox. It's the paradox of willpower, right? And this is what he says: muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. Hear this, right? The more you try to clear muddy water, the muddier it gets. That's the point, right? Like unwanted thoughts or realities. The more we try not to think, it's like don't think of pink elephants. The more you try not to think of a pink elephant, you're thinking of it. That's the same with unwanted realities. That's the same with unwanted thoughts. The more you want to get rid of your current life, change it, improve yourself, the more imperfect you feel. The more you want to be worthy, the more unworthy you feel. Why not just declare your worthiness as part of as a fundamental truth of who you are? And then the paradox is you become worthy in that moment. The moment you stop trying to be worthy, the moment you stop trying to be secure, the moment you stop wanting something to happen or needing something to happen, the paradox is it happens, you become it. Right? Then when you stop wanting to be secure, you become secure in the moment you stop wanting it. In the moment that you stop wanting and trying to be worthy, you are worthy. That's what we're talking about here. Wanting positive. This is what Mark Manson from the, I think it's the subtle art of not giving an F. Wanting positive experience is a negative experience. Accepting negative experience is a positive experience. Do you hear that? It's that trying to have that positive experience, trying to get what you want, that becomes a negative experience, right? And it keeps you from it. That's the paradox. But accepting the negative experience is a positive experience. In other words, accepting what you judge as negative, right? Because it's all judgment. Accepting that unwanted reality becomes a positive experience and then moves you to what you really want now. That's big, right? Whenever you are dissatisfied, you are deeming the present moment somehow not good enough. Whenever you're dissatisfied in the current present moment, that you're declaring that present moment, that now moment, where God is only found in the now, as somehow not good enough. That's big. So the more you want and need something, the more lack you feel. You create the lack, right? By trying and wanting something to be different, you're assuming that you need something more. Do you see this? It's all an illusion. The more you try to be worthy, the more unworthy you feel. When you be with yourself, right, in the present moment or what is, it's impossible to lack for anything. When you're really, this is what Eckhart Tolle talked about, all the greats talk about this, but when you be with yourself and do nothing, don't try to change yourself, don't try to improve yourself, don't try any of that, right? You set your intention. God knows what you want. Your inner being knows what you want. Your higher self knows what you want. Do nothing. Because when you're just with yourself in that present moment and you love yourself and you accept yourself as that is, then the paradox is you do move quickly to other things you want and all that you want, right? The paradox is when you accept imperfection, you feel perfect, right? It's this constant quest to fix what we perceive as imperfections, when that imperfection is simply a perception issue. It's only the 0.00001% of reality that we can perceive with our senses, with our physical senses. The other 99.9999% is the unseen. And those together is the perfect all there is God, right? And so it's you're already perfect. You're just perceiving a part of it. That's what duality is about. Otherwise, you'd never ever be able to experience your perfection. Right? The only way you can experience your perfection is in 0.0001% increments. Right? But you can feel and know that other 99.999%. And then call forth whatever part of all it is that you want to experience now. That's a beautiful thing, right? You create lack by wanting, trying, and struggling to be it or to have it, right? The way to have what you want or be who you want to be is not to want it, right? The wanting it, the striving, the craving for it creates the lack, creates the illusion of lack, right? You lack nothing when you're in that. You are all that is, right? It's a hologram. So when you stand in that present moment, it's impossible to feel lack. So let's hit this a little bit more. When you want and try to be happy and fulfilled, you create the illusion or the reality of unhappiness and non-fulfillment. Do you see this, guys? It doesn't even exist. It's just an illusion because you're trying. You're thinking there's something you got to do, something you got to have, something you got to approve or fix to be happy or to be fulfilled. It's already there. The harder you try, the more you want it. The more you cut yourself off from source and all that is. Remember one video, and I think it's on one of the videos I linked below. Think of your connection with all that is, source or God, as an invisible and biblical cord. And so when you try to do something to improve your life, when you try to improve this state of lack, this illusionary state of lack, you're cutting the cord with God, right? You're not literally doing it because you're always connected, but energetically, right? Because it's already within you. You can only push yourself away from all that you want when you're trying hard. That's the backwards law, right? And then we talked about the story of the cloudy pond, the Zen master and the little boy. There was this cloudy pond, right? And it represented infinity, right? And the water was infinite intelligence. It was that energy, that power. And down below and under the cloudy pond were the golden fishes that the little boy wanted to see. And the Zen master, and so the little boy went running to the pond, right? And it was cloudy. So he started clearing the water, and the Zen master said, hold on, do nothing, right? And as the boy didn't do anything, didn't touch the water eventually cleared, right? And then he could see the golden fishes in the pond at the bottom, right? Those are your wishes already fulfilled. You just can't see them because they're blocked by that cloudiness of the thoughts of lack or doubt or wanting or trying or desire, trying to make something happen, right? That the 3D reality, those clouds are like the veil of 3D reality that covers that thin veil that covers that infinite intelligence or that all that is that it's behind it, right? Beautiful fish under the cloudiness of your desires or your wish fulfilled, right? They're already there. By you trying to clear the clouds, right? The muddy water. The more you try to clear muddy water, the cloudier and the muddier it gets. By trying to resist these thoughts of doubt, by trying to resist the wanting and the desiring and the trying. Instead, let it be there, right? Do nothing with any of that. Accept the present moment. Sit in that present moment in the clouds clear, right? Imperfection and lack is only imperfect seeing, right? We've talked about that, of all that is, right? Within every perceived imperfection is all the perfect whole of all that is. Remember, it's a hologram. So the imperfection or the lack that you see in your life is simply a limited perception of all that is. It's 0.0001% of all there is, of God, of infinity. And so if you want to see a different aspect of all that is, it's not by pushing against what you're already perceiving, rather is accepting it as one possibility and then calling forth a new possibility, calling forth your desired reality. That's what we're talking about. That's how to do nothing. That's how doing nothing gives you everything. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. Also, we have a group called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors. You can join that. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, or just visit our website at tomkearin.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Until next time, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom. See you soon.